Out on the windy beach, your hair can get blown around by stuff, by air in motion, and you too can blow grains of sand around. There are many kinds of stuff: air, water, rock, and more. They're substances, material, matter. There are even substances you can eat. There is beauty in a grain of sand, and on the beach there are many grains of sand, far too many to count. Some grains are even smaller than sand grains, like pollen. Pollen grains are made by flowers, and for some people, pollen causes hay fever. There are grains, or specks, of smoke too, small enough to float in the air for a while, but not too small to see with a microscope. If you look closely at the tiny grains, they move. Each one moves with many changes of direction. It's a random kind of motion. So what can cause this? One explanation is that the smoke or pollen grains are being bashed and battered by something even smaller. Seriously small. What could be in the air? Air could be in the air. Maybe the super tiny, super speedy, and super invisible things in the air are the air. They're what air is made of. But if air is like that, then some other substances like smoke and perfume could easily mix with the air and spread out, which they can. Other substances, if they are made of small grains or of tiny particles just like the air, can easily diffuse or spread through the air, so we can smell this other stuff. That's what noses are for. She has a sensitive chemical detector, much better than yours. With her nose, she can sniff out small concentrations of harmful chemicals, including drugs and explosives. But wait, a ship can't mix with an iceberg. A hammer can't mix with a nail. And as for these two, nobody is going anywhere right now. However, if you break something, like a picture of goats, into small bits, and if the bits can move and there are spaces between them, then mixing is no problem. It's the same for blocks like these, solid blocks. They don't mix unless they break up into bits or particles. If moving particles have space between, mixing just happens. Air is a mixture of gases. Mostly nitrogen, oxygen, and some water vapor, and carbon dioxide. Gases mix easily, naturally. We call that diffusion. Liquids mix too, but usually not quite so quickly as gases. The shark can detect blood in the water from a long way away. Some gooey liquids need some help, a stir to get the particles moving in between each other. In the ship versus iceberg contest, the ice will win. Solids don't mix too well, unless you break them into bits. If the ice melts, then its particles can move around, and the ship can move safely onwards. Ice, water, and water vapor are the same stuff. They're made of the same kind of particle. What's different is just the amount of energy that the particles have, and how they are arranged together. Stuff, substances, material, matter, it's all made of particles, and understanding particles turns out to be very useful for making medicines, for example.